Look, before I even start, turn the lights up a little. Yeah, I know it's daytime, but trust me, you're gonna want them on. So here's the thing nobody talks about anymore. 4 completely separate apartment complexes in the US where within the span of a single month, every single tenant packed up and left at the exact same time. Not gradually, not a few people got creeped out. Every single person overnight. Some of them even left their furniture, their pets, their kids' toys in the hallway. Police reports just say mass vacancy due to resident complaints. That's it. No further explanation. Before I tell you why they really left, hit that subscribe button real quick because I'm never repeating these stories in one sitting again. They still mess me up. All right, story 1. This happened in 2018 at the Willow Ridge Apartments in Dayton, Ohio. Cheap rent, mostly young professionals and a couple retired folks, nothing special. My buddy Jake moved into Unit 2B because it was the only place he could afford after his divorce. First week, totally normal. Then he starts noticing the quiet. Not regular apartment quiet. This was the kind of quiet that presses on your eardrums, like the whole building was holding its breath. He laughed it off, said city boys aren't used to real silence. Week 2, he texts me at 3:14 a.m. Dude, someone's walking in the unit above me, but 3B is vacant. I checked with the leasing office. Slow, deliberate footsteps. Always the same pattern. Bedroom, hallway, kitchen, pause for exactly 37 seconds by the fridge, then back to the bedroom. Every night, same rhythm. He recorded it once. When he played it back, you could hear the floor creaking, but also this faint, wet sound, like bare feet on linoleum that hasn't been mopped in years. He asked maintenance to check it out. Guy goes up there with a master key, comes back white as a sheet, says it's just old pipes settling. Jake calls bullshit. He's an engineer. He knows what pipes sound like. By week 3, other tenants start complaining about the same footsteps. Everyone hears them, but only when they're alone in their apartments. If 2 people are together, total silence. The leasing office puts up a sign, please refrain from walking heavily after 10 p.m. Like that's the problem. Then the smells start. Mildew, but worse, like something died inside the walls and bloomed. People leave notes on the community board. Anyone else smelling that? Answers get posted and ripped down the same day. The breaking point was the mirrors. Every unit had these cheap, full-length mirrors glued to the back of the closet doors. Tenants started waking up to find the mirrors turned around, facing the wall. Not fallen, turned, screws still in place. Jake found his like that 3 mornings in a row. On the 4th morning, the mirror was facing out again, but his reflection was standing 3 feet behind him in the closet, even though he was alone in the room. He saw it blink once, slow, before the image snapped back to normal. That same night, every tenant got a knock on their door at 2:47 a.m. exact. No one in the hallway when they looked. Just a single wet footprint outside each door, pointing inward, size 10, barefoot, toes splayed weirdly, like they'd been broken and healed wrong. By morning, the moving trucks were lined up. Every single resident gone in under 8 hours. Cops came, found nothing. The complex sat empty for 2 years until they finally tore it down. They found dozens of those wet footprints dried into the subflooring of the vacant units, all facing the closets. Story 2. Oakwood Gardens in Macon, Georgia, 2021. Gated community, nice pool, mostly families. The kind of place you brag about on Facebook. It started with the kids. They stopped wanting to play outside after dark, which, whatever, kids get weird. Then parents noticed that children all started drawing the same thing in art class. A tall, black figure with no face standing behind the swing set. Every kid, same figure. Teachers thought it was a TikTok trend until they realized none of the kids had phones yet.
Adults began hearing playground sounds at night, laughter, chains creaking, a ball bouncing, when there was nobody out there. Motion lights never triggered. One dad set up a ring camera pointed at the playground. At 3:33 a.m., the audio picks up kids laughing, clear as day. Video shows nothing but empty swings moving by themselves. Then the camera pans on its own, slow, like someone grabbed it, and zooms in on the second-floor windows of Building C. Every single window has a child's handprint on the inside of the glass, from apartments that face away from the playground. The handprints started showing up inside apartments next. On the ceilings, always 5 tiny prints, perfect, like a kid was pressed flat against the drywall above your bed. They'd appear overnight. You could scrub them with bleach and they'd be back the next night darker. One mom, Sarah, woke up to her 5-year-old standing at the foot of the bed whispering, "They're not my hands, Mommy." Sarah asked whose they were. Her daughter pointed straight up at the ceiling and said, "The ones who live up there. They want to come down and play." That weekend, 38 families moved out in a single day, left swing sets still swinging. The complex tried to release the units, dropped rent 60%. Nobody would even tour. Place is abandoned now. Google Earth still shows cars in the parking lot that haven't moved since 2021. Story 3. This one's rough. Pine View Terrace in Spokane, Washington, 2019. Mostly Section 8, a lot of elderly and disabled tenants. Real community feel, at first. The elevators were the problem. Old hydraulic ones that groaned and shook. Tenants started complaining that the elevators would stop between floors, lights would flicker, and they'd hear scratching inside the walls of the shaft. Maintenance said rats. Then people started disappearing. Not dramatically, just gone. Mrs. Delgado on the 4th floor missed bingo 2 weeks in a row. Neighbors knocked, no answer. Super finally opens the door, apartment looks lived in. TV still on, dinner half-eaten on the table, fork upright in the mashed potatoes like someone just vanished mid-bite. Same thing with Mr. Park on 7, and the Nguyen family on 9. Always the same. Food still warm, TV's on, but no bodies, no struggle, no note. Security footage showed something impossible. Every missing person was last seen stepping into the elevator alone. Doors close, the elevator doesn't move. 30 seconds later, doors open, empty. No one ever pressed a floor button. You can see it on the lobby indicator. The elevator just sits there, doors closed, for exactly 30 seconds, then opens on the same floor. Empty. The final straw was when they pulled the maintenance logs. Every time someone disappeared, the elevator had made an unscheduled trip to the basement, a sub-basement that wasn't on any building plans. The shaft shouldn't even go that deep. They sent a technician down with a body cam. Feed cuts after 12 seconds. The last thing he says is, there's writing on the walls. It's moving. Then static. The city condemned the building the next day. Every remaining tenant was relocated within 48 hours. When they demolished Pine View 6 months later, they found the sub-basement. Walls were covered in scratch marks, names, dates, pleas for help. Layered so deep that the concrete was gouged away in places. At the bottom, a single child's shoe, size 2. No child had ever been reported missing from the complex. Last one. Crestview Point in Allentown, Pennsylvania, summer of 2023. Brand new luxury building, marble lobby, key fob everything. The kind of place with a rooftop dog park. The smart apartments were the selling point. Everything app controlled. Lights, locks, thermostat, even the blinds. Tenants loved it until the app started doing things on its own. Lights turning off when people were in the shower, doors unlocking at 3 a.m., thermostat cranked to 90 degrees or dropped to 50 with no input. Management blamed glitches, pushed updates. Then the cameras started catching it. In the middle of the night, the in-unit cameras would detect motion, but the footage showed an empty room, just the furniture. And then, slowly, indentations appearing on couches like someone invisible was sitting down, blankets shifting on made beds. One couple woke up to their camera notification, motion detected in nursery. They don't have kids. Video shows the rocking chair in the empty spare room moving back and forth, slow, while a perfect circle of carpet in the middle of the floor gets depressed, like small bare feet standing there watching the chair rock. That same night, every single tenant, 212 people, received the same push notification at 3:07 a.m. exact. That was it. No name. Sent from the building's official app. By 9 a.m., the lobby looked like a war zone. People dragging suitcases, screaming at the
concierge, who was crying and saying his computer showed every unit at 100% occupancy, but the names listed weren't the tenants. Random names, some dead for decades, pulled from old city records. They found out later the building was constructed on the exact site of a tenement that burned down in 1938, killed 87 people. Official capacity of the new building? 212. The mass exodus was so chaotic that Allentown PD had to shut down the whole block. Some residents were so panicked they left their cars running with keys in the ignition. Building's been empty ever since. The app still works if you download it. People say if you create an account and put in the address, it'll immediately show your unit as occupied, 2 residents, even if you're standing in an empty apartment alone. So yeah, 4 different complexes, 4 different states, all empty now. And the scariest part? Real estate listings still pop up for them sometimes. Same photos, lower prices every month. If you ever see a listing for Willow Ridge, Oakwood Gardens, Pine View Terrace, or Crestview Point, just keep scrolling. Trust me,